I think this is really a regional story. These are the kind of things we're going to need to do if we're going to really deal with climate change and really address that issue. So I think from that perspective, it's not just about the Maine. It's not just about New England or the Northeast. I think it's the whole northeastern of North America.
I'm Thorne Dickinson. I am excited about sharing with you authentic conversations from Mainers throughout the state about the value this project delivers.
My understanding of crossing the border isn't the easiest thing these days. So coming down from Canada took a little bit of a challenge, and in the end I think all the necessary paperwork got completed for her to be able to come down and do the interview. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's a pretty shot.
Oh, good.
And the bridge.
Are you saying I'm handsome? Oh, the bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
It's a handsome man.
I'm always fishing for compliments. So.
Can you vouch for Hydro-Quebec? Can you really confirm that this will reduce greenhouse gas emissions regionally?
When you look at the buildup in reservoirs in Quebec, you could see that they were building new hydro with the hope of bringing this clean energy throughout the rest of the U.S., but the transmission, in order to get that out, wasn't able. And you see those reservoirs building up over time to a point now where they're full. And for 2017 and 2018, they had major spilling. The amount of water that they actually spilled would have been enough to fully load this transmission line.
So we were just in the Forks area, and people are not happy about the project. Some of the people we met anyway are not happy about the project. And was it necessary, like the route that this transmission line is taking? Is this a necessary route? Was it necessary to cut through forest to build this transmission line?
A lot of people, I think, have a misunderstanding that this land is somehow pristine, but it really is an area that is a commercial forest that has been logged for generations. And when we sited that line, that's why we put it through that area.
It was interesting that in Quebec, people are very supportive of the hydro and the role that it plays, how important it is in, I think, this new environmental era where we're trying to reduce climate, greenhouse gases, and that people really feel very strongly about Hydro-Quebec as a partner in those kind of things. So it was interesting.
Do you mind if I ask you a question? Because we hear, a lot of the concerns from the First Nation side.
Yeah.
How does that play in Quebec?
For this project, the transmission line, there's no opposition from First Nation. Or they're like tiny little things, but...
Yeah, it's what I worry. Like, my job is to worry about everything that could happen, and I just think of, it's a great conversation we're having, I think, globally and for our country on social justice.
Yeah.
And, I imagine that could be something that flares up if you have First Nation, but
For this project, no.
Not necessarily a fan of watching myself and hearing my voice, but I've had to do that quite a bit during this project. I thought it will be very interesting because it will be dubbed in French, so to actually hear someone else speak my words will be pretty interesting. So I'll look forward to that.
People are starting to realize the important role that it will play in our renewable energy future and decarbonizing the supply mix and helping us deal with climate change. So yeah, I think that there is some new interests. We have also an effort we have going on with Yale. They have a capstone program in their MBA program for the forestry and climate area of their college. And they were very interested in studying this project and making their own kind of independent analysis of the benefits of the project. There's our camera guy over here in the corner, and there's the director over there. So, and again, I mean, you guys should feel freely, as we've wanted from the beginning, free to be as as open and honest with everything, your feedback as you can.
So I've been kind of looking at the climate impacts and kind of the GHG emissions space. And it's been really interesting. I found quite a few, the Maine dockets and all of that. Still want to kind of go through some of the more specific emissions analysis, the DayMark, the LEI, and the energy ZT.
The fossil fuel industry, I think, is going to just continue to poll and look for what they can do in order to have a negative impact. And what they found early on, I think, was a couple of pieces. If we can undermine the climate change benefits of this project and highlight the impacts of the part of the line through the western Maine, those were things that have the biggest impact.
It's interesting that, yeah, the fossil fuel companies will be trying to tamper down projects like this and kind of fuel that fire in a way, but the alternative is them, and that's what they want at the end of the day.
It says that you'll be delivering the same megawatt hours per hour every month throughout the year. First question is it really you guys will be delivering a constant amount of hydro throughout the year?
The contract requires that it's every hour, the 1,090 megawatts every hour all the time. Particularly in the winter period, it's very critical, which is important for two reasons. One, it is a tendency to be a peak load at times, but also it's where the natural gas line into New England gets constrained, and that price volatility that gets experienced and can cause billions of dollars of extra cost through one winter.
Yeah, very helpful. Thank you so much, everyone.
As far as the news, well, it's not really news anymore, that opponents are organizing a follow-up referendum to try and block the project. And then I saw that they're maybe going to try and do this right before the election in November. My question is, do they have any further legal standing, and how concerned are you about their efforts?
I mean, we're very confident where we sit right now. We have really one permit that we need in order to begin to move forward with construction, and that's the Army Corps of Engineers, and we're hoping to get that any day. So that would allow us to move the project forward to construction, and we're really looking at the November time period to start.
How could this project help Maine get through the current COVID crisis as far as boosting the economy and creating jobs?
So we'll need 1,600 jobs. We're going to need not only the people to get the right-of-way ready, the access roads, all the protection that we put on the right-of-ways before we construct them, and then the building the line and all the crews that go with that. And all of those people have to stay in hotels and have restaurants that in the area. Many of these communities are areas that are struggling even pre-COVID and now are even seeing bigger challenges to the revenue line.
I guess my last question is, I was wondering if you have any new exciting announcements or developments associated with the project that folks should look out for.
We're still thinking out the details of a modern job fair within COVID, but we do need a lot of people to help support the project and to work on it, and we're looking forward to having really good paying jobs for Mainers that want to work on the project. And that's our goal, is anybody in Maine that wants to work on the project, we want to make sure there's a job for them.